Difficult tree removal. Clearing. William Hovey Smith, 2023. On our quest to clear our trails and roads, we have moved 2 obstacles already that I could do without chainsawing. But this one, yeah, I pretty well had to cut up before I could move it. So, number 3 shortly out of the way. I won't say that this is as bad a mess as it can get, but it's pushing the boundaries there. What we have is the fall of a large oak tree, and it's not completely down. It's being partially supported by branches hung up in trees and resting on the ground. And it's also covered in the lower portions, as you can see, with all kinds of small viney stuff. So it's difficult to get to and get around. So my first task is going to be just to clear the work area so I can get up to the tree. Yeah. Although you may not be able to see it, there in the middle of the trail, I can see a large forked trunk. Whoa. Yeah, this is going to be a job. Now at least I can start to see what I'm working on. Wow. I partially uncovered that big portion of the trunk there. It's responsible for that branch that's still quite high in the air. It'd be good to get that thing close to the ground before I start working on it. It is difficult to work a large tree with a chainsaw when you are simultaneously completely surrounded by nearly head-high vines. So the first thing I have to do is to get those vines out of there. So I'm going to use my go-kart, and I've cut them mostly free, and pull those things out, and then return and see what I can do with them. I have a good rope here, and I have just made a bundle out of these vines and snarfed them up. So we're going to pull these out to a cleared area so I can get them out of my way altogether, and then look and see what we can do with the rest of the tree. In all probability, there are some large vines still attached, so it's likely that I'll pull a little ways and have this pile caught up by a retaining vine and have to come back and cut it. Remarkably, I got away clean. And yeah, the entire stack is coming, so yep, that's good. Well, our first pile of stuff has been delivered to the food plot now, and it's considerably compressed over what it looked like, but yeah. Now that's a wad of junk, guys. No, you don't want to work with that stuff underfoot. Now, with that load of stuff out of the way, it's still terrible, but it doesn't look quite so bad. So, we're going to see what more of that we can uncover. Well, we've now exposed the tree from this side. That's actually the base, and you can see it was rotten at the base, so that's why it fell. And also, of course, it was completely encrusted with vines as I've been cutting away. But now you can see the top, and I can get at it from this side. Well, we have it successfully in tow, and we can take that and dump it out in our food plot, and then tomorrow we'll resume from the other side. Not all trees have a habit of falling in conveniently open woodlands. Yeah, The rest of that tree is barely visible on the other side. And we have this overhanging canopy of partially collapsed and vine-encrusted shrubs that have to be moved as well before I can get to the brown material, which is actually connected to the treetops. We're going to see what we can partially extract with the golf cart, knowing full well that we can only get part of it, and we'll probably have to cut some more vines so we can get it to pull well. As suspected, there are still vines holding it. Got 3 cut, so she will grow some better this time. My doggy engineers are offering assistance. They have certified that the area is snake-free. They've sniffed that out. But their physical assistance is limited somewhat to minor digging and carrying, unfortunately. Yeah, they'd love to get one of these small sticks and tow with it, but that's about the best I can do. Although not as clear as I would like to work, I can at least see now the tops of the trees and get to them where I can start cutting for the first time some of this oak. And the way I'm going to work it is to take out those smaller branches. First those that are hanging high, and then those lower down. For the first time, we've actually got into the tree, and am taking out these tops as I can get to them. And I've now got quite a pile in front to drag out, and we're going to drag out that pile before we continue to make another. We've got to the point that we're about to reach the capacity of the golf cart, I fear. We're starting to pull out the first real wood from this tree, and this is putting a lot of strain on the golf cart, which was not built to handle. So for the rest of the job, we're going to rely on our truck and truck winch to take out these bigger pieces of wood, which you can see lie ahead. Although Hera is going to be deprived of a nice cool wet bed, we are starting to accumulate things around the burn pile, including our last load right here. This is going to be systematically chopped up into the smaller, drier branches for the bottom, and then stacked. And when I get a good bed of coals, started up here, I'll go back and retrieve that pile of viney stuff I left in my food plot and pile that on to get rid of it.